Hello, Illumineers! Welcome to the finale of our annual Lord Madness tournament that for an entire month has gradually pitted 16 glimmers from the Disney Lorcana library against each other to see who will go the distance. There's no more voting at LordMadness.com, folks, because this is it. I'm even wearing my overpriced Lorcana pin because the Lord Madness champion will be revealed tonight. But not so fast. This episode would be incredibly short if we just did that. So we have an army of returning panelists and some new Lorcana creators to reflect on highlights from this Hawaiian roller coaster ride of a tournament. Stephanie, who do we have today to cover the finale?
All right, yeah, so we have a few new faces tonight. First is James, who is the co-host of the Citizens of Lorcana podcast, as well as Trey Cabled, who is the host of the Illumineers podcast. We also have Inknack joining us, B Squared, Dan's from Hobbies and Happiness, LorcanaDad, Nive, Pigeon of Lorcana, as well as Surreal back to go over the winner of Lore Madness.
First, let's give out some awards. Like the season finale of Survivor, we brought everyone back and we're going to reflect on some of the best moments of Lore Madness together, starting with the Lore Madness Awards. First of all, the Poor Unfortunate Soul Award, the card that lost by the widest margin and never had a chance due to the luck of seeding. 97% lost to Stitch in the first round. That is no other than the wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast. And some honorable mentions are Olaf and Jumba. Did any of you happen to vote for these three unfortunate people throughout the tournaments?
I voted for Olaf, as you can see by my shirt with the Olaf on here. So yeah, I kind of just checked out of the awards as soon as Olaf lost. I'm like, that's it, I'm done.
So
I
James,
also voted for Olaf.
okay, there are only 6 people voted for Olaf, and 3 of them are on this call right now.
Wow.
Because it broke down to like 100 people that week on that vote, so
Yes.
good for us.
Stick together.
I am also one of the only 3 people that voted for the wardrobe because I knew this was going to happen and I wanted to get the blue spacer rat out as quick as possible, and it did not work.
You've been trying this whole tournament. It's just like
So hard.
And he's got the blue hair tonight, which is kind of hilarious.
I did vote for Jumba over Mickey in that first round.
Yeah, I voted for Jumba too.
I'm proud of you.
Blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy. How dare you?
I'm a Mickey Mouse player in this tournament, but love him otherwise.
I dare.
I was just so upset that Elsa was going against Olaf. I'm like, how do you make me choose?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
wrong with you
right?
people?
That's kind of rude.
Yeah, that was
The creator had to destroy the creation. I mean, that's just kind of oof. I don't know, man.
On to the second award. We have the One Jump Ahead Award, seeing Aladdin over to the left if you're cheating. So the underdog card that was slippery like a street rat, edging out tough competitors by a tiny margin every time. I mean, they beat Maleficent by 51%. That was close. 57% on Elsa. No other than Scar, which a lot of people were huge fans of in this tournament. Scar wins the One Jump Ahead Award. Who voted for Scar? And
I did.
Nice.
Long live the king.
Yes, long live the king. Except last round when he did not live.
Except
He
the
lived
king is
long.
dead.
He lived long, but not long enough, apparently.
Now we have another king to long live.
Yeah, I think Scar for this one, I think he got really fortunate with seeding with his matchups, because I think I don't know if you have the demographic information on who voted, but I would imagine based off Discord that a lot of people were like Lion King was kind of right in the middle of either their childhood or time that they had kids. And I think that Maleficent lost because it wasn't the best Maleficent card that we're going to get. I think that it was the weaker of the 2 Maleficent cards that we will see so far. And then I think most people who are not or who are parents are probably just done with Elsa at this point. So I think that they gave Scar the bump over Elsa that way too.
I mean, you can get a sample of the demographic right here. Just look. Here it is.
Yeah.
Hi,
This
I'm
is-
the child.
Yeah,
Can you
most of
tell?
my voting was all actual card mechanic, and I went with Scar because it reminded me most of Ash from Legends of Runeterra card game.
Interesting.
Did
Which was my
anybody
favorite
else
card.
vote based off of mechanics? Because that didn't play any bearing on my voting whatsoever.
No.
It was
But I
both
just- yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't
I'm a
decide-
tabletop guy, and this is my first TCG, so I went off of art and nostalgia.
Nice. I use it as solely a tiebreaker. It's like if I couldn't choose between these two characters, I would look at the card and the mechanics.
Same.
Yep, same.
Awesome. So let's reveal the last one here before we get into the rest of the festivities. So the Zero to Hero Award, the card that should not have made it this far considering the odds, but nevertheless went the distance. He beat Mickey Mouse for crying out loud. It is Hades, the king of Olympus. Now I know we had some fans for Hades, a lot of people who voted for just the hair. Who all voted for Hades and who did it for the hair only?
Not the hair only, because Hades is awesome. And Hades is gonna win, guys. He's gonna win, and it's
don't get your hopes up.
I
Don't get your
voted
hopes up.
for him because he was Floodborn.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Me too.
Yeah, like what is this like a consolation prize, James?
No. These are totally just like pointing out the craziest moments that were there in the tournament. I wanted to add like 3 or 4 more, but time. Like Olaf and Elsa should have definitely been in there.
Yeah, I think Hades had the hardest path of anybody because he had Captain Hook, Aurora, and then Mickey. I mean, that's boom, boom, boom. Everybody else had either like a pretty early round matchup that was pretty easy, or they just had like a popularity contest between 2 characters. I mean, and when we're on it, but Stitch especially, I mean, he had the wardrobe, and then he had Robin Hood, and then he had the 10-seed Scar. So
hang on, isn't this whole thing a popularity contest?
Isn't that the whole?
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, I just think he had. If you look at especially look at the percentages that Hades won by, everything was close. It wasn't. He didn't blow anybody out.
Well, right, but all of our arguments are we like these ones better based on popularity. So
that is a fair point.
So
I don't know. There was a lot of hate towards Stitch against Robin Hood there for a while. I got a little scared.
I voted for Robin Hood over Stitch, and I will vote for Robin Hood over Stitch 100 times in 100. Absolutely.
Second
But
the
again,
notion.
Right there with you.
nostalgia.
Right there.
Nostalgia. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care that much about Stitch.
And I think
I'm older.
Didn't Nive roll a dice to decide between Robin
He
Hood?
did.
I did, and then I immediately ignored it.
Wow.
Dang, that was a highlight moment, but go ahead.
I rolled Robin Hood, and then like 10 seconds later, I go, "Yeah, I vote for Stitch."
I see what kind of DM you are, Nive.
Hey, shut up.
Awesome. So this was the awards. I think we can have a lot more next year, but now we're going to talk about highlight moments. So I'm going to send some links in here. I think we already basically talked about 2 of them, so we might have to edit this out entirely. We'll see. But first link is in reference to B Squared and Citizens of Lorcana basically arguing on Twitter back and forth, essentially bumping the amount of votes that happened that week. It's kind of hilarious because I saw a lot of the time that Brandon, you were like, why do people hate Stitch so much? Are you surprised that he made it to the end seeing so much hate on Twitter?
Honestly, I was. Kind of like I said earlier, it really baffled me when I watched the video where it was him against Robin Hood. Like, everybody was like, who likes Stitch? He's overrepresented and all this other kind of stuff. And so for a while I was pretty scared. And even with Scar, I felt like there was so much lobbying behind Scar for the longest time. I didn't know if Stitch was going to be able to pull through, but you know, he made it to the final. So I'm crossing my fingers here right now.
Brandon made sure he made it to the finals by visiting 25 different libraries to go through.
I did not do
every time.
that. I did not. I voted on my home computer. I voted on my work computer, and I voted on my phone. I might or might not have texted all of my coworkers to vote for Stitch as well, but we won't mention that.
I might have been the only person to just
Confirmed.
vote once every single time.
And you were the person that made the difference in those 51%.
I actually think Jared said he voted like 8 times for Scar on like 8 different devices or something.
He just grabbed random people at the airport and can I borrow your phone for a
Give me
minute?
your phone.
Hey, have you heard of the Lorcana?
It's actually really funny. I've gotten like a lot of people interested in the game just by doing this. I'll be like, hey, go to this website and vote for Stitch. And then look at it and they're like, these look a lot like Pokemon cards. And I'm like, yeah, let me tell you about Lorcana. And so now all of them were asking me about it. So it actually was pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
What do you say when they ask you how to play the game?
I tell them I know everything. I tell them I know all the rules.
That's amazing. On the same topic, by the way, I might be mixing up people, but LorcanaDad, were you the one that said that you would have to watch all of Stitch movies and all spin-offs if Stitch made it?
No.
Just the
So
movie.
the agreement is that whichever character wins, we will have a watch party sometime this weekend, and so I will begrudgingly watch Lilo and Stitch in full if the Space Rat wins.
Okay.
Win.
I'm not even going to call him by his name the rest of this. I'm just going to call him the Space
I
Rat.
do like the space rat. Well, hang on. Well, I think last week we did refer to him as a weapon of mass destruction. So
Yes, we
I
did.
mean, we'll just call him WMD.
That's acceptable.
Might get flagged on YouTube.
No, we're past the 15-second mark.
We're also past the time period where it's being
we
talked
found the
about for the
dice
most
roll.
part.
All right, I don't know how this is gonna work out with sending a video, but it's only like 3 seconds. If people want to quickly watch that 3 seconds that I linked to in the YouTube.
Where's the D20? Robin Hood is the role. I vote for Stitches. I voted for Robin Hood.
Stitch is everywhere.
Go to the polls and vote.
That's such a great soundbite. You brought it up earlier, but it fell into the highlights here. Nive rolled a die, D20 specifically, to vote between Robin Hood and Stitch, and then apparently ignored it. That was gonna be my question. Did you actually commit?
So here's the funny thing. So I ended up not voting for either one because I was so divided.
He took the high road. He took the
Wow.
high road and just
You didn't
abstained
even
completely.
go to the polls.
Didn't even go third
Listen,
party.
Listen, I had too much on the line. See, like, I didn't even vote for the finals. I voted one for each because I just can't decide between my favorite Floodborn boys.
I
And
can.
Oh, go ahead.
We know you can, Brandon. We know.
He's really laying the groundwork for a recount here.
Yeah.
This last one is gonna be fun. I kind of wish the Illumineers were here for this, but sending the link.
This is my family. It's little and broken, but still good.
Oh my god! I sent this because Liam did that voice in the very first episode, and then Dell challenged him in a future episode and made a very fun reference to oranges in his voice. So you had 2 weeks since then, and I would have preferred this to be a Stitch fight with him in the room, but would you be willing to give us your voice?
Yeah,
You can
I
throw it
didn't
over
practice
top.
at all. I
Oh
completely
no.
forgot about that like 2 seconds after we finished, so
It's okay.
we're gonna see what happens. I gotta mute myself, so I gotta get there first. Hang on.
Okay.
If the
Whoever says that's
Illuminators
cheating,
show
it's
up.
not cheating. I'm not. I just have to find it. Give me like 3 tries.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because
3
like,
tries.
like, if he does it too
Absolutely.
high, it sounds like Emma.
All right, I'll
Coaching
give it a
him.
go here. I'm talking to my shirt here, or the character on the shirt. Hello, Orange Bird. How are you today?
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
it's kind of a coincidence you wore orange shirt.
Orange.
Did you do it on purpose?
You sure that wasn't intentional?
That wasn't intentional. It just worked out.
That's amazing. Well, those were the highlights. I'm sure there's plenty more, but I didn't want to make this video last 2 hours. So we're going to get into the last bit of this, which is basically our picks and revealing the winner. So before we ask everyone to call out their favorites and reveal the winner of the tournaments, I want to mention that we may have introduced a bit of a Lord Madness curse throughout this process. So if you look at the bracket recap, Nive was hardcore Team Cruella going into the tournament. He even said he would join us only if she won. Well, he joined us, and then Cruella was eliminated. Then Jedi Geek Girl, literally her avatar is Elsa. She was all Elsa. She joined the podcast of the show, and Elsa was immediately eliminated. Then, as an honorable mention, Scar was doing just fine skating by throughout the tournament until he was mentioned on Twitter constantly in war, and then he was eliminated. So it's clearly a curse with the guests sort of fighting for a character they will lose. So I say that to make sure that everyone's very careful when they answer my next question.
Oh, no.
Who did you originally want to win the whole thing? Doesn't have to pick 2. And then which of the 2 did you vote for? We'll go around the room. I will start with B squared, Brandon.
You know, I've just loved Hades. No, I'm just kidding. It was Stitch the whole time. It was without a doubt from the beginning.
That was easy.
Right? How about the two on Inknack?
Of the final two or just the whole thing?
Well, two things. Who did you originally want to win the whole thing at the beginning? And then
Robin Hood.
Oh.
Yeah, Robin Hood for me too.
Not Mulan.
Well, oh shoot, wait, yeah, never mind.
Just kidding.
The Robin Hood in Mulan, apparently.
Nice.
Right
And then
on.
who did you go for?
Now Hades over Stitch.
Same.
Okay, cool. All right.
Right. Same question to you, Trey. Who did you originally want to win, and who did you pick?
Originally, I wanted Elsa to win it all, just because I like her card. Like I said, I just went with mechanics, and then for now, Stitch is who I picked to win it all, and that actually has a bias towards being a top 5 movie for me.
So I wanted Cruella to win. I knew she wasn't going to win, but I wanted Cruella to win because she's my girl. She's just so bewilderingly cool. In the game, killing puppies is not good. Just thought I'd get that out there. In terms of who I want to win, got another D20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
Oh.
Not that he follows it.
Not that I follow it, but it rolled Stitch.
So at the beginning, if you would have asked me to choose, I probably would have either chosen Aladdin or Robin Hood, just 100% based off of I love those movies growing up, and those are the ones I watched the most. Two of my favorites. Now in the finals, I gotta go Hades. 100% gotta go Hades to take out the weapon of mass destruction. I've never liked Stitch. I've never liked Lilo and Stitch as a movie. I do not, and I will never understand why he is so popular, but alas, he is. So be it.
Because Lahana means family to him.
Yeah, but he wants to kill everyone, so it's
because Blue Punch Buggy.
It's a journey.
LorcanaDad, you are sporting the blue hair for the blue alien that you hate so much. I assume Hades is your pick, but go ahead and tell me who you wanted to win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is my first time talking to Dan, and he's my new best friend. So I was really torn when it first came out because I kind of saw it in order, and so I was Team Mickey all the way, and then I forgot that we had a Hades card. And so then I was like, oh, that'd be a cool championship if it was Mickey versus Hades. And then I saw they're on the same side of the bracket. So I had a tough time with it, but Hades is my all-time favorite Disney character. I am probably way more hyped about the live-action remake than most people my age should be. I've put up a bunch of like fantasy casts of who I want to see play Hades. Hashtag Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But I got to roll with Hades the rest of the way. I think he's going to pull it out for the underworld.
You know, I went with Mickey initially, the brave little tailor. He's a symbol of Lorcana, and I figure, you know, the first inaugural Lord Madness, I gotta go with Mickey. So I was disappointed when he was knocked out. And I may be unusual. I haven't actually seen Lilo and Stitch or Hercules until this year, so they're both relatively new to me. And between the two, I gotta go with Stitch. It's just like the positive family vibe. I'm digging it.
Okay, so of course, as I mentioned, my initial choice was Olaf, but if we're talking which one would I have picked that I thought had a chance to win, it would have been Elsa. But of the ones who are left, I honestly just was such a toss-up. I think I'm going to have to go with Stitch, though.
Awesome. And then Stephanie, please close us off.
Yeah. So I either wanted Mulan or Scar to go, and I am so happy Scar made it as far as he did. His card is amazing. His ability is amazing. Super excited to play him in a Sapphire deck. But I went for Stitch this round.
Whew, okay. Guys, it's time. This month-long journey is coming to an end right now. I'm about to hit publish on the website. I had to hide this. I didn't want to publish it too early so one accidentally sees the winner. So let me make sure. Oh my gosh, it's updated. Sending the link.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh.
Here we go.
And the winner of 2023 Lord Madness.
Look at that.
We did it.
Stitch. He goes the distance against
What did I say?
You wouldn't believe this. You wouldn't believe this.
How much?
He had 62.6% of the vote.
Nice.
Okay, last week I said it would be above 57, so I was right.
Blowout.
It's a domination.
My one vote counted.
That's right. That's right.
All right, I'm out. I gotta go.
Hope you guys have your popcorn ready.
It was beyond hilarious when I did the math because it was about 200. No,
Oh wow,
200 people this time, like the most that's ever been.
that's
And so-
awesome.
Yeah.
How many
a lot
people
of
do
the
you work with,
libraries-
Brandon?
About 350. No, I'm kidding. There's actually like 5 people, but
When I did the math, it was 62.58 something percent. Rounded up, it's 62.
66.
It's insane.
Oh.
oh my god!
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, it is.
Meant
it
to
is
be.
626.
It was rigged from the start.
It is 626.
That
Did
is
I mention-
amazing.
Big election.
The two on Inknack were just staring like this. Like, in front of them. Do you guys have an opinion on this result?
I mean, it was
What?
meant to be, obviously.
Clearly.
Fate.
Dell's never seen the movie.
Oh,
You're
so
not
you know what we're talking about.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much.
Okay.
Don't listen to them.
Okay, I
Join us
will
for the
say.
watch party.
I will say when we watch this movie with my kids, I don't like it because then what do my kids do? They imitate the worst behavior in Stitch, and it's like, come on, I did all this work trying to raise you, and you just revert. Thanks, Stitch.
They must
thank
not
you,
be
Stitch.
watching the full movie.
In
They got to get
70
to the
minutes.
end.
He has
Does
an
he go
arc.
outside and throw
They
your
are
car?
6.
They
are
have a
5
whole-
and
they have
6.
whole
You think
scenes.
they 5 and 6? Have you ever met a 5 or a 6-year-old?
They watch the
have
first 20
attention to
minutes.
that point?
Dan, they have whole scenes where Lilo draws out Stitch and he's filled with bad. And then at the end of the
Have you
movie,
met a
he's
5 or a
filled
6-year-old?
with good.
Have you met a 5 or a 6-year-old?
He was
They're
one.
Didn't
Clearly
think
not.
so.
I am one sometimes, so
Clearly.
Anyone else notice Trey's cat trying to get on the episode?
Ooh. What's
This
your
is
cat's
this
name?
is this is Arthur, and then behind me right here is Merlin, right there,
Very nice.
and
What
then all
color-
my Pokemon cards because I have to get ready for EUIC in 2 weeks.
Nice. Very
I'm just
nice.
waiting for things to rotate so I can go all silver borders on it.
It's kind of
yeah.
I got a code card right here.
Oh, I'm stealing
Now
that.
you don't.
Better
Feel free
hide
to
that.
take it.
Yeah, better hide it.
Where's Archimedes? We have Arthur and Merlin. Where's Archimedes?
I have Arthur, Merlin, Percival, and Lancelot.
wow.
No war.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, you gotta get a-
Good
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
girl
that's what I'm
cat.
saying. Somebody got the reference. We said wart. There we go.
Yeah, you got to get a Guinevere.
Yeah, that if we did get a girl cat or a 5th cat, it would be Guinevere.
Nice.
I
That's
feel like
awesome.
anybody
Did
who
you say
has
a
to
fifth?
say the thing, if we get a 5th cat, is probably getting a 5th cat.
A 5th? Holy cow!
I don't think anyone explained this to Dell unless you already did. The reason why 626 is relevant is because in the movie he is literally experiment 626, and the fact that the votes came down to 62.6%.
That's
is
just
literally-
magic.
That's
It's crazy.
That's Disney magic.
That's,
Yeah.
That is so true.
Disney magic.
Disney magic.
You said it was 200 votes ish.
Yeah, about 200 votes.
Let's do some math. Where's my math device?
See how many people I asked.
So
Without your
120,
advocates.
125 to 75 ish.
Yes, those were the numbers. Yep.
50 people. 50
But-
people.
Quite a lot.
It's me, Dan, and 73 believers out there.
Honestly, it
Losers,
just might be
maybe?
Brandon at 50 libraries, but
And James, those votes were unique IP addresses. Is that right? Is that what you did?
unique visitors. Yep. Yeah,
Is
because
it is it
actually-
weird that there's that many of them in rural Louisiana?
There's not. It's rural Louisiana. How many libraries do you think there are out
Oh my
here?
gosh.
3.
It's also
I am under fire.
Starbucks and-
You sore losers. I am under fire here.
Just turn the numbers over to the Lorcana marketing team. They'll be like, "Wow, we really need to invest in the Baton Rouge area."
Look, I'm just trying to get Lorcana in the stores down here. I don't know what to say.
Hey, I'm not dogging it. I'm good for it. Oh, that's sad. I will say, I'm not entirely surprised by the result. I'm disappointed like most dads. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. But yeah, I'm with Dan. I cannot understand the popularity of a character, and it's not like they've done a whole bunch of stuff with it. They've done like 2 movies and like a short run of TV shows.
4 movies.
4 movies? Oh god,
4
I don't
movies.
pay attention. But can we all admit that the music in Hercules is way better than Stitch? Can we
I
just-
agree. That's only because
Agreed.
it's Elvis music. There's no original music except for Hawaiian Roller Coaster.
There's
Yeah.
They're
original
both
music.
really good.
There's only like 1 or 2 songs, right? In Lilo and Stitch that are original.
Well, if
well, there's
it-
a
We'll
Aloha
find out this
Hawaii,
weekend.
and,
Oh,
Yes,
right.
we will.
there's
you have
Hawaiian Roller Coaster Live.
you have the actual soundtrack that's not not licensed music. That's all original.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, hey,
Well-
Stitch got some good music.
Before
It's
we
not. It is definitely not better than the stuff in Hercules. Sorry.
I
I'll
mean,
fight you on that. I will fight you.
Hey, listen. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying both of it's good.
I
Alright.
go with Hercules.
Alright.
Go the distance and what's the No Way No song? Like that's my favorite one.
Won't
Anyway,
I'm in love.
Meg's
Yeah.
song.
That's it.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, I will tell everyone that I wanted Elsa to win. These are proxies.
Nice
But
proxies.
I voted for Stitch, baby, and only voted once, so I didn't cheat. First of all, I wanted to just personally thank everybody. I mean, like I said, a month ago, Stephanie and I just met in a video and then created this thing, and now we got to meet and connect with all you amazing people. It has been a joy over the course of a month, and hopefully continue to meet you at not D23.
Gen Con!
Gen Con. I got my tickets. Yeah, before we outro, I just wanted to say thank you. You guys are amazing, inspire me every day, and I feel like I'm a part of a community that didn't exist for me in terms of Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! In the way I feel it now. So thank you. Thank you very much.